RoleBindings and ClusterRoleBindings are essential components of Kubernetes security that enable you to grant access in your cluster. They act as the bridge between what permissions are defined and who actually gets to use those permissions. In this video, you'll master how to bind roles to users and service accounts, giving you complete control over access management in your Kubernetes environment. Bindings are Kubernetes resources that connect roles to subjects. Subjects can be users, groups, or service accounts. The purpose of bindings is to grant the permissions defined in roles to specific identities in your cluster. Think of bindings as the bridge between what can be done, which is defined by a role, and who can do it, which is defined by the subject. Without bindings, roles would just be abstract permission definitions with no one to use them. There are two types of bindings in Kubernetes. Role binding is namespace specific, meaning it grants access only within a single namespace. Use role binding when you want to give someone permissions to resources in just one particular namespace. On the other hand, ClusterRoleBinding is cluster-wide, granting access across all namespaces in your cluster. Use ClusterRoleBinding when someone needs permissions that span multiple namespaces or for cluster-level resources that aren't namespaced. Let's examine the structure of a role-binding manifest. It starts with the API version RBAC.authorization.k8s.io/v1, and the kind is role-binding. The metadata section includes the name of the binding and the namespace where it applies. The subject section defines who gets the permissions. In this example, it's a user named Jane. The roleRef section references the role that defines what permissions to grant. Here, it references a role named pod-reader. This binding grants Jane the ability to read pods in the development namespace. A role binding has three key components. First, the subjects field specifies who gets the permissions. This can be users, groups, or service accounts. Second, the roleRef field references the role that defines what permissions to grant. This connection is immutable once created, meaning you cannot change which role a binding references after creation. Third, the metadata field contains the name and namespace where the binding applies. The namespace in metadata determines the scope of the permissions being granted. Now let's look at a ClusterRoleBinding structure. It uses the same API version as RoleBinding, but the kind is ClusterRoleBinding. Notice that the metadata section does not include a namespace field because ClusterRoleBindings apply cluster-wide. The subject section here specifies a service account named monitoring-s in the monitoring namespace. When binding service accounts with ClusterRoleBinding, you must specify their namespace in the subjects section. The roleRef references a cluster role named secret-reader. Granting this service, account the ability to read secrets across all namespaces. Service accounts are special subjects used by pods and applications running inside your cluster. Bindings grant permissions to service accounts, enabling them to interact with the Kubernetes API securely. When binding to service accounts, you must always specify the namespace field in the subjects section, even when using ClusterRoleBindings. This is because service accounts are namespaced resources. Service accounts are essential for giving your applications the exact permissions they need to function, without granting excessive privileges. Let's review some best practices for working with bindings. First, use RoleBindings for namespace-scoped permissions whenever possible. This limits the blast radius if permissions are misconfigured. Second, always follow the principle of least privilege by granting only the minimum permissions needed for a user or service account to do their job. Third, use descriptive names for your bindings that clearly indicate their purpose. This makes it much easier to understand your access control configuration at a glance. Finally, regularly audit your bindings to ensure they remain appropriate as your team and applications evolve. Remove bindings that are no longer needed to keep your cluster secure.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.